Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jan, CEO of Acquire.Fi. I have on my show Andrew from Magnus Capital. Welcome here, back again.
Hey guys. Yeah, thanks for having me, man. Doing pretty good. How are you?
Oh, good here. Yesterday, Pavel came out with the news that he's not gonna cut the rates. What do you think, man?
Definitely. I think that sucks. Obviously, I think it seems like the crypto market didn't really like that news, so we got a bit of a sell-off. Equities didn't sell off too hard, but they are a little bit paused, I think. It makes kind of sense just because, in order for them to cut rates, they can't really have the stock market at all-time highs, as well as energy prices making highs as well. So it kind of makes sense why they're saying that they can't cut it. But they did mention that the inflation data is getting better, so there is a little bit of positive news within that negative news. So we really just have to wait and see now. He did say that won't expect cuts until late 2025, maybe possibly 2026.
Wow, super bearish. I'm going to be bullish after September, August. But hey, I think there's a market report that you guys do, and I think that market report deserves a little more attention. So I'm going to share your screen now, and you can go through it. But everyone that don't know, Magnus Capital does these reports, I think, weekly or bi-weekly, and I think they're very good, indicators what's happening in the market, especially if you're trading actively and looking to get some good trades. Definitely recommend to follow.
Thanks, man. So we do these once a week. Me and my team, we go through kind of the market as a whole. And then we just kind of post what we see, and can kind of jump right into it. So we usually kind of go over the macros when we first start these meetings. Right now, we look at the seasonality charts. So this is one that I follow. This is the pre-election years. So if you look at where we are right now, we are in the first week of July now. This is where we are supposed to see an inflection point and start seeing a bit of an uptrend. June was a pretty, rangy kind of tough month. So July is expected to be a lot more positive and just more of an uptrend. And then based on also the technology sector, this is typically where you do see a bit of a bullish rally. As you can see, this is one of the most largest incline, most of the year. So we are expecting within the next couple of weeks, hopefully, the markets do start uptrending higher. This is the breadth charts from the TRI. TRI is where I actually went to learn how to trade. So my trading teacher actually developed this tool, and essentially just goes over the top 30 crypto. And what he uses 15 different indicators on each asset, and then gives a scoring of whether it's bullish or bearish based on all the momentum. And then you plot it based on these moving averages. And so last week we were around here, and this is typically where you consider oversold. So usually when you see these moving averages in this area, that price is going to eventually reflect back to the upside. So since last week, we did see a bit of a rally. Some things did move and whatnot. But right now, it looks like we are just kind of crossing here, and prices are a little bit stable. But this is generally a pretty bullish sign when you see prices down here. These are just charts that we went through yesterday, but we can kind of go through these live just because the data has changed a bit. So I can kind of flip over here to the trading view side of things. Let me know if you can see it, if it's visible. Okay. So we're looking at Bitcoin. I always talk about these reload zones. These are typically between 61.8 and 78.6 fib lines. If you look up here, this is the short side when you're going back up, and as you can see, the prices respected it, and we did top out kind of at these levels. So my theory is we're going to do the exact same thing on the downside, where as prices is in the long reload zone, prices should typically hold and form either a W and whatnot. So we did form a double bottom here, which was a very good sign. But unfortunately, it wasn't strong enough. And now we are being retested as we speak. We don't want to see this fail. We don't want to see it to go under pretty much this level here, because then that would invalidate the W, and then that would further push the bearish narrative, right? So generally, we want to see these levels hold. I do see a 200 SMA coming just right below as well, and that's going to act as major support. But if we do lose those lines, I am a little bit worrisome of this bullish state. So that's Bitcoin right now.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to lose that, to be honest. I think the 60,000 levels are going to be the one that we're going to be defending for a while. Maybe 58 and 59, but as you said before, good time to buy, to be honest.
Yeah, I do like this 58 level just because it is on the 88.6 level. That's typically called, like, where I learned from my school was called like the sniper level. This is where a lot of the professionals come. This is like literally bottom picking, right? And it actually coincides with this candle body low here. So in my opinion, that is going to be a really like tough level that they're going to try to defend, especially with the 200 SMA also lining up with it right now. I could see that being a major inflection point. And we are pretty close to like oversold conditions and stuff. So, you know, momentum wise, it is turning slightly. There isn't any bullish divergence yet, which would have been nice to see. But if we go over to the ETH, ETH actually does have a bullish divergence in play. So that is a lot nicer to see. But we did not actually hit any like oversold conditions. So, you know, there's still room for this to kind of break down. I thought ETH didn't look as pretty, mainly because, like, you know, we did bounce off the 61.8 last week, which is a good sign. We did try to W out here, but it couldn't confirm properly. And now if you look at it, it's actually kind of Ming out, which isn't what you want to see. M's usually point towards downwards price action. And so that's kind of what I'm seeing here. That might be okay because maybe that pushes us to another leg down and then actually puts us in the reload zone, which is the 61.8 and 78.6 levels. And then that might actually give us the oversold condition finally, and at least we'll have the bullish divergence in play. So, and then you also have the 200 SMA pretty close below as well. So that's kind of what I'm thinking right now. This is the original short idea we had up from a couple weeks ago. This one still hasn't completed. Bitcoin already completed its short, but this one still has a little bit of room to go, in my opinion. So maybe the price is just kind of reflecting that. Also, the delay in the ETH ETF might have been kind of spooking people out as well. So
yeah, I think the Ethereum ETF is going to be either sell the news event or we're going to actually be very bullish. My thing and my theory is that it's going to be actually not sell the news event. Grayscale has still $9 billion worth of Ethereum in their old trust that they did 3 years ago that they can start dumping. But I still think it's a positive thing for Ethereum. And if you look at the on-chain transactions at the moment, they're quite positive compared to other chains. So
yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of those things where, like, you know, it might be one of those, like, sell the news event when the news comes out, but then overall it'll be quite bullish in the long run. So, like, the initial day might just be, you might get, like, a little bit of a volatility day where you get massive sells and massive buys. But in the long run, I think we are pretty poised to be in a bullish state for that. And then there also talks about Solana ETFs now and stuff too. So, yeah. And then I really like to watch like the ETH Bitcoin chart as well. This kind of helps like indicate like the health of all coins. Right now, like this is kind of what we have drawn up. It's like an AB equals CD pattern. It's like a harmonic setup. So I'm just kind of watching this and eyeing it out. Hopefully it does play out because then, you know, as prices climb up higher, it'll look much better for the altcoins. I wouldn't necessarily buy right now. I don't think it's like in the best location. And there isn't really any structure. Like for me, I like to buy W's or I like to short M's. So when I see these kind of like just like uptrends, it's really hard to just kind of jump in and chase it, in my opinion. But when you look at it as like a harmonic setup, like an AB equals CD, this is typically where your entry point is on the 0.25 line, and then you kind of look to hit the target right there. So it's kind of what I'm seeing on ETH Bitcoin right now. Momentum wise, really not much going on. It's not really staying bearish or bullish really yet.
I'm gonna share my screen quickly here. I'm gonna show you the total market cap and the volume. And I think you're absolutely right. Like, there's no momentum. If you look at my screen at the moment, the volume is actually going down. Market cap has been going up for a while, but now we're lowering. There's actually not a lot of action in the market, which is totally normal, right? Like, we're in the summer, and looking at your reports, what I understood correctly is that July is usually, June and July are usually like nothing really happens. There's no action taken, and there's also the presidential election that is coming up.
Yeah. I mean, when I see that market cap, like, you can see the M shaping out right there, right? Like, if that M actually confirms, like, that's a pretty bad sign. You don't want to see that confirm. You actually want it to start seeing a W come out soon, preferably. Otherwise, that's a pretty bearish signal there.
Yeah, look at the altcoin market though. It's the same thing. So altcoin market cap and volume, it's been going down for a while.
That
I don't know.
Confirmed.
True that. But on the altcoin markets, like, even all the pre-sales that has been launching now, they've been performing really badly. We had yesterday one launch that was Rune's terminal. I was very bullish on them, but unfortunately the launch didn't go that well, and there's like no volume. It's like all the people are not trading. They're probably drinking champagne or just being on summer holidays. Yeah, in Hamptons. Or maybe they just don't have money at the moment. Like, if even Pavel is saying like, hey, they can't cut the rates yet, it means it's going to be very tough for the normal plebs out there.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. I don't think there's much retail participation right now. And you can see it all across the board, like, especially with these new like token launches and stuff, like, there isn't much volume coming in. So pretty sad to see. I think we're not going to really get retail coming back until we start seeing like all-time highs being broken again. And then you get the massive greed kind of coming back. So we're a little bit of ways from that, in my opinion.
No, I agree. And then if you look at the ETF flows, I've been covering ETF because ETF flows are pretty good indicator what's happening with the bigger guys. And at the moment, the flows are very weak. We had some positive momentum if you go here, but yesterday we actually saw some negativity. And again, if you go here, wasn't much sold though. It was only $30 million, but still, it's always negative. And I think hedge funds and funds overall don't know like where the market is heading. But then again, it's summer, nothing really happening. And if we go to the fear and greed index, we're still kind of in a good shape, don't you think?
We're definitely in like the middle zone, which isn't like the most bullish or bearish kind of sign. Like, for me, I want this to just be like at the very bottom. Like, you see, like, back in like May 15th or 18th there, that's like when I know, like, okay, that's like we're in the bottom zone. Because once you're at max fear, like, most people are out, and that's usually when you start getting the bounces. And then it's like that on the other side. When you're at the max top greed, markets are going to be pretty much closer to the top of the cycle. So, it was nice to see last week that we did dip down slightly into those fear zone, but it looks like we kind of bounced back right out. So I think we should just keep our eyes on that and just kind of wait to see it get closer to the fear, and then look for W's, right? Like, you can do W's on these type of indicators as well, and you can kind of see it as that's a W right there. Yeah. So maybe it's turning. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we haven't capitulated yet enough. Yeah. So let's see. Let's go back to the market. Do you want to do some charts on Pepe and some major, let's say, some meme coins?
Sure. I actually wanted to go over this Dixie chart as well. Like, I personally think like this is a very good like inverse relation for like crypto. Generally, when you see like Dixie break down, Bitcoin and altcoins do tend to rally. So right now we are in the zone, like the short zone for US dollar. It was rallying pretty strongly, but it looks like we got rejected on the 78.6, which is a very good sign. You do have bearish divs building, and it's about to confirm. We did hit overbought conditions as well. So momentum is showing that like, okay, there's a bit of sign of weakness. Prices has to kind of reflect to the downside. We also have a bit of a double top in structure as well. And since that's also within the short reload zone, I think that's a very strong indicator that like, okay, this Dixie is going to have to break down a bit. And that's going to be a really good sign for risk on assets. So hopefully we actually get a proper breakdown, and then we can get a nice face rip up in alts. But yeah, we can go over some altcoins. You said you want to go over some Pepe. We can look at Pepe. Have not looked at Pepe.
Pepe and Ton. I think Pepe and Ton are actually the ones I read somewhere that
I think Ton are definitely is like one of the strongest.
Yeah, but even if you look at Pepe at the moment, like it's been one of the strongest coins this year. To be honest, it's Ton, Pepe, and then there's some other ones that.
Right. For me, it's like, look, this thing topped out in May. You sell in May and walk away. Prices still hasn't really reclaimed it, but we are at a 38.2. This is what you call the first stop level. So if you are in a bullish trend and the markets are face ripping up, the first level it's going to come and retest is this 38.2. And if it holds here, if it consolidates and we can W out, then that means that this trend is still very strong and it should continue. Otherwise, if it breaks lower, you know where I'm going to be looking for longs. It's going to be within these reload zones. And if you look here, this is where the last kind of consolidation was. Also, if you look at 70.6, it's actually right against these tail lows. And so that's kind of where I would be considering if you want to be looking for long setups. This is the area I would be looking for. Or if you're going to be chasing up here, at least wait for a W. At least wait till you see some kind of like W shape up here, and then you can enter on that kind of breakout. So that's kind of what I'm seeing on Pepe. I don't really see anything in the momentum saying that this is quite bullish here right now. There was a bit of a bullish divergence that came out, but now we're obviously coming back and retesting the original breakout. So this is Pepe. That's what I think on Pepe here.
What about Ton?
Ton, I actually really like Ton. I actually had a setup on Ton. Here, I think I have it on this chart. Let's see. Yeah, so I had a setup here on Ton. Like, same idea. You know how I talked about on ETH Bitcoin, the AB equals CD pattern? Yeah. So I thought this was a harmonic trend. I think it's an uptrend because this coin just keeps breaking up higher. So, you enter on the 25 line, and then you kind of watch it. There's a set of rules on this setup where, like, once you hit 0.5, you move your stop to scratch. Once you hit 0.66, you move your stop to trailing. And then ultimately your target is to hit this goal here. I have a target of up to like a double here. That's like my usual goal is to try to hit a double. And if you look at it, it's still on a very uptrend. Like, we're making newer highs, higher lows. And it's the one coin that like still hasn't really like taken.
Dude, it's so strong. It's so strong. I like Ton at the moment. Like, yeah, I think there's a lot of people building on top of Ton. They have the best acquiring machine of getting new people inside. First of all, they have 600 million users or 900 million users.
Yeah, quite a lot. And it's really easy for them.
Everyone in crypto uses Telegram. I just see like, hey, this is better than anything else. I don't know about the chain itself though, but there could be some flaws. But definitely bullish. Definitely bullish.
Yeah.
What about Ava and I think Polkadot was getting a lot of attention lately because of their marketing budget.
Oh, Polkadot. Okay, let's see. I haven't looked at them in a while. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look that. I mean, yeah, there's really not much there to do. It looks like I can draw a reload zone here. I mean, that's a perfect, beautiful tag right there. 17.6. If you zoom in, you get the cute little W there as well. you had the actual like bullish divergence as well, like confirmed right there. You did hit oversold conditions. The setup did come in. You just have to be able to be like really quick at it. You know.
There we go.
I usually go for doubles, so but you can always do like a simple 2-to-1 setups and stuff like that as well. So a double would be just coming back right against the old original highs there, which is kind of funny. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of like what I see as a setup, like reload zone, structure, double bottom, momentum, bullish divergence, oversold conditions. So the setup was there. It's just now we're a bit away from it now, so I wouldn't want to be chasing that.
Yeah, so just a backstory on that. Yesterday or day before, someone published how much Polkadot is spending on marketing, and someone started digging. It's like $20 million a year, $25 million, and it's like different sponsorships, blah blah blah. And what is the outcome? Can you see it from the graph?
Barely nothing.
Yeah, I can't really see it.
I mean, it really depends because like if they did it since January of this year, they had this nice little rally up here, right? Like that's like a nice 70%, but since then it's just been straight dead, like flat. But this is like what the overall market looks like too, right? Like everything kind of topped out in March. And
how much is the breakdown from the top to the bottom right now?
Here to here?
Yeah.
It's roughly 53%.
Oh, it's not bad. Like look at Celestia, minus 60, minus 80% now. So actually, DOT is doing pretty well, to be honest.
Yeah, actually, this is not too bad of a trade. I actually bought some here last year to get my free double off. And, yeah, I mean, it's a solid name. It's one of the old blue chips, right? So
yeah. What about Ava? I think a lot of our community holders have Ava.
Ava, ooh, that doesn't look good. That's like an M. That's going to probably break down, in my opinion. Let's see. We can do a nice fib range here. You are at 61.8 now, so this is typically where you want to see prices hold. But, we are in the reload zone technically. Oh, shoot. Wrong one. There we go. And so, I like 78.6s. Those are like my favorite levels to hit. So maybe we do get a leg down, and then that confirms our bullish divergence, and we do get the oversold conditions. So, maybe we get one more leg down, and then that helps the momentum turn. And then, if we break down, hopefully we can get like a W. And that's ideally what you want to see. I want to see W's, That's a bullish sign. M's are very bearish. So, yeah.
Got it. Let me see. Oh, we're at 23 minutes. I think this is good. Andrew, anything you want to say in the end? How can people follow you? How can people reach out? You are in our community, which is absolutely nice. Also, Magnus was also one of our advisors in the beginning, so very kudos for them. And Andrew helping us with everything. It's been very good.
Yeah, you guys can help follow us, on Twitter. I'm Rambo Jackson 5 on Twitter, and then you can follow us at Magnus, Magnus_fun as well on Twitter. We'll post the links after the call, and yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach me. We'll post all the links and stuff afterwards, but yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, we're doing this weekly, or trying to do weekly. Let's see how our schedules are, but these are very good. I think it's always good to get someone on the show. We might get some more guests in the future also, talking about the markets and so forth, but better than me just rambling around and saying like, hey, we're going to go up or down, right?
Yeah.
All right. But hey, please like, follow, and subscribe. Thank you again, Andrew, for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks.